What tools does a seasoned electrician use when they're building a commercial rack? If they're going to run pipe, they got the strut, they got the all thread. I'm going to show you a couple of tools that a pro will use. This is one, I usually use the Milwaukee's. I saw these at Lowe's and I wanted to try them out. What's really nice about this specific pair of pliers, they're vice grip style. So they automatically clamp and lock. But because they're needle nose, you get less aggression where you're not really tearing up the thread. So if you're trying to mount some strut on your all thread and you got all thread coming down here, you can grab these, clamp on here, it'll hold your strut up and you can work on this while you're doing all that. That's the main reason why I use these vice grips. They're also good if you gotta like rig something, man. You always gotta rig something as an electrician, whether you're drilling out a washer that's too small or whatever you're doing. There's always a reason why you need some extra vice grips to hold something. So this is a welcome addition from Klein. Another welcome addition from Klein. And Klein hasn't had too many wins lately. A lot of the stuff that come out has just been kind of cheesy. It doesn't really make sense for an electrician. But this one here, this is our hollow nut driver. So you can see right there where it is hollow. It's considerably lighter than the predecessor. And it's actually got magnets that's built into the actual nut setter hollow nut drivers here. And it's got the perfect sizes. It's got 1/2 inch, 9/16, 7/16, and 3/8 with the magnets as mentioned before. 3/8 hardware, 9/16 is going to be for your nuts and all that stuff. You know, you got your strut straps. It's going to be for 1/2 inch. If you're over 1.25 inches, I believe, you're going to be running into 1/2 inch nuts for your strut straps. And then all your 1/4 inch stuff is going to be 7/16. Another thing while we're talking about tightening nuts and bolts would be this set from Husky. I think Gear Wrench originally made these from Sears, but Husky's got a 4-in-1 kind of box style wrench. The best part about this is that you're not having to flip it around to change the direction. It's actually got a little switch here. The other really good thing about this set is that the back is a different size than the front. So sometimes if you get lucky, this acts like a socket and you actually sit on top of whatever nut or bolt you're trying to tighten and it can't fall through because it's like a backstop. The other really good thing about this, like super underrated, if you're doing 3/8 hardware where your strut straps all the way up to 1.25 inches, they're going to be 3/8. This acts like a socket because if I can get this to the camera, you can see where this kind of protrudes out. And typically whenever you take any other kind of wrench like this, where it's an open end here, it's flush here, and you don't get that socket benefit. But this acts like a socket and a wrench, and it's handy. This is an absolute must-have tool as a commercial electrician. If you don't have these, try them out and let me know in the comments below. Come back to this video and tell me how good this has been in your life, because these are seriously underrated. This 5/8 here, this is going to sound crazy, but this 5/8 here on the back of this 9/16, because the 9/16 is smaller, if you're tightening 3/8 beam clamps with the big square, right, it's a 5/8 12 point, and this sits on the beam clamps and you can't fall through and you just tighten. So if you're doing a bunch of strut where you're up in the apex of the corrugated metal and you're trying to drop your all thread down, you pros know what I'm talking about, and you're really trying to get that tight and you're up there with channel locks, whatever the heck you're doing, dude, if you're rocking 3/8 beam clamps, you gotta try a 5/8 hex. Whether you stick that on a socket and you put on your impact, whatever you're doing, you gotta try a 5/8 12-point socket to tighten those beam clamps. That's like really good advice there. Your levels, if you're gonna level your rack, you're gonna want to get, you know, level and plumb obviously, but you really shouldn't be rocking a level by itself unless it's got a 30 degree as well. This one has a 45, and it's kind of upsetting that Klein would put out something with all the years of experience of hand tools for electricians. But they do have this one. This one's got a 30, so they kind of made up for it. But really, you need a level with a 30, even a 22. Your maximum amount of bends on a conduit run before you got but a box is 360 degrees. If you got two 45s, that's already 90 degrees gone out of that whole equation. So I always tried to bend 22, 4 22s would be 2 offsets. That's only going to be 45 degrees total. So the stuff adds up really, really quickly. Let me know if you guys want to see anything else. Hand tools, got code questions. Let me know in the comments below. And we'll see you guys in the next one.